Hey, sports fans, it's Mo Carter. Every high school football team in the Tennessee Valley has a goal of hoisting up a blue map at this year's Super 7 in Birmingham. And in order to get there, you have to do work in the off-season. This summer, the Fox 54 sports team chatted with a number of squads about their upcoming season. And you can check out some of your favorite teams right now on another edition of the First Down Friday Night Preview Series.
What did you and your team learn from last year that you're trying to improve on for this year?
Two things: we got to run the football, and we got to be closer as a team.
What has the offseason been looking like to kind of improve things in Wildcat country?
Well, we didn't get the ball out in June. It was just lifting and conditioning and letting these guys do some competition stuff without a football. Just trying to grow the team and get those guys, closer and loving on each other and that sort of thing. But I'm excited to see, what we're going to be able to do.
Also during the offseason, special time in which you were able to retire a jersey of one of your greatest players. How do you feel that really kind of helped put the community on the map, but also showing your players like, hey, he was in your footsteps at one point too?
Well, I reference him a lot. As far as his journey, and I think he's got a special story, not just the fact that, he's from West Limestone, but, what he's had to go through, what he's had to overcome, and when he's had the opportunities, he's made the most of them. I think that's what makes his story so special.
Awesome. All right, Coach, as we go into 2025, talk about some of the key players that you want to see either take a step up, or many people may be surprised with the hard work that they're going to put out there on the field this year.
I'd like to see them all step up, but, we're replacing 14 starters from last year. So, there's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of new opportunities, and, I don't think there's any one person. I think it's going to be, several people that people A, probably may not recognize, but B, may be surprised when they do as well as they do.
Awesome. You begin the season with that team right there, Clements. Talk about having the opportunity to face, another Limestone County rider to kick things off, especially since, a lot of these kids have known each other for a number of years, and, it kind of just builds up the anticipation for Limestone County.
Well, it does. These guys see each other in the community, and they see each other at tech school, and, they want those bragging rights. But, it's like I told Adam, I don't think there's anything more special and two communities that are close together coming together for an event. And I don't know that there's another event besides a football game that creates that kind of atmosphere and hype. So it does mean a lot. It means a lot to these guys, and fortunately we've had a lot of success over the years within the county.
Awesome. I'll leave you out on this, Coach. Where does West Limestone fit into this very competitive region?
Well, we right along with everybody else. It's a tough, competitive region, and I remind these guys all the time, and I don't have to remind them; they know. It is very tough and it is very competitive, but that's why you do it. If it was easy, everybody'd do it, but we're in a region that's tough, and year after year, we usually have 2 or 3 teams that go second, third round. So that just goes to show you how tough it really is. And, we got to work hard and we got to do all the things right. But sometimes you have to have that ball bounce your way. And, it just hadn't bounced our way the last few years. And so, hopefully the ball will bounce our way this year. And, all our hard work and all those things will pay off.
And Jaden, how did you feel about 2024?
Didn't have the turnout we wanted, but we've changed a lot of things to not make that season repeat itself, and I think this season will be very different.
Gotcha. Coach is saying you guys have been getting after during the summer. Talk about how the bonds are being built. How do you guys getting strong? What are some of the things that are happening during the off season that many may not know about?
Well, really, we're just trying to grow our bond, and we work so hard that people are forced to go past their breaking points, and it's up to us to push them there. and that's when we really grow like closer together. Because, I mean, we have to do it or nobody else will. Like nobody's gonna do it for us, you know. So, I mean, we've put the work in. We've worked really hard.
You're one of the seniors on the team. Talk about your role as a leader, and what are some of the other seniors doing to kind of, lift up this team this year?
Well, my role is, I feel like it's where we have a standard at West, and it's something that the underclassmen don't need to forget. Like one thing I hope that when my class graduates, like he's obviously, like, I'm really proud of him and how far he's came, and I think he's gonna keep that standard up there where it needs to be, you know. And that's all. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm only like 1 or 2 years older than most of the guys, but it makes me proud to see them like hold themselves accountable, you know. And everybody works really hard. There's not many, if not any, that comes to mind that really we have to stay on to do their job.
Clearly, we know that this region is very, very tough, and you have to bring a lunch pail each and every week. How do you feel about West Limestone when it comes to the competitiveness of such a tough region that has multiple teams, make deep playoff runs?
Well, one thing that is preached a lot at West is that it doesn't take talent. It just takes being tough, and there's a couple things like attitude and effort that you can always give your best. And despite whether team has more skill than you, it just comes down to who's going to give in first, you know. And we don't really give up.
All right, Travis. 2024 not the best outcome for the Wildcats. What did you guys learn from last season as you roll into this year?
Learn from last season that you got to be a team. You got to have a good bond, and you got to be a team. You got to know each other, and create a bond. You just got to know. You got to be a team. You got to be able to put stuff on the line for each other.
Cool. Coach Shelby said you guys have been getting after it during the off season, and I'm guessing 2024 serves as that motivation. What are some of the things that you've been doing to kind of build that camaraderie besides the obvious?
I mean, just bond building, and I mean, we're holding each other accountable. Like, everybody gets held accountable no matter who you are. Everybody does what they're supposed to do, and you stay locked in. You don't get out of focus.
Cool. As you get ready for this upcoming year, you'll face Clements, in the opener. How excited are you to face a team that's right down the road, and many of you guys have known each other for a number of years?
Can't wait. I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm ready to see how all this work's paid off.
And just on the final note, man, how do you feel West Limestone fits into such a competitive a region that that has teams year in and year out that are either right there or they're making deep runs?
Well, I feel like we work just as hard or harder than them, and we're not going to give up no matter what. No matter the outcome, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep going.
A brand new season of Fox 54's First Down Friday Night begins on Friday, August the 22nd on Fox 54 and the Fox 54 Plus app.